Emotional abuse, what it is, how it works, and why it leaves invisible wounds. At the Windowsill, emotional abuse is often the hardest harm to name, not because it isn't real, but because it is relational, gradual, and disorienting. There are no bruises to prove it, no single moment to point it out, no obvious scene that outsiders can easily condemn. Instead, there is a slow unraveling of self. You begin questioning your perceptions. You explain more. You apologize more. You shrink your needs. You carry responsibility that isn't yours. And you can't quite explain why you feel so tired, so confused, so small. That is how emotional abuse works. Emotional abuse is a pattern of behavior that undermines another person's emotional safety, autonomy, identity, or sense of reality. It is not about one bad day. It is not about strong emotions. It is not about mutual conflict. It is about power exercised relationally over time. Invalidates another inner experience, controls through fear, guilt, obligation, or confusion, undermines confidence or self-trust, shifts responsibility for harm, withholds emotional safety as leverage. The goal may not always be conscious, but the impact is consistent. What emotional abuse is not: disagreement, occasional conflict, emotional expression, poor communication skills, someone having feelings, someone being triggered while actively taking responsibility, a relationship needing growth or counseling. Healthy relationships allow discomfort without destroying safety. Emotional abuse destroys safety while demanding closeness. The core mechanism: power plus pattern. Power imbalance, repeated behavior, erosion of self. Over time, the abused person learns to anticipate reactions, to self-censor, to manage the other person's emotions, to doubt their memory, motives, and worth, to accept blame for relational dysfunction. This is not sensitivity, this is conditioning. Common forms of emotional abuse: gaslighting, denying events you clearly remember ever happened, rewriting history, minimizing harm, telling you're too sensitive, imagining things, or you're crazy. Result: you stop trusting your own perception. Chronic invalidation, dismissing feelings, mocking vulnerability, ignoring emotional bids, responding to pain with defensiveness or contempt. Result: you learn that your emotions are unsafe to express. Blame shifting, making you responsible for their reactions, turning every concern back to you, refusing accountability. Result: you carry guilt that doesn't belong to you. Withholding, emotional withdrawal, silent treatment, affection used as leverage, communication shutdowns. Result: you learn to comply to restore connection. Control through fear or obligation. Threats, spoken or implied. Guilt-based pressure. Religious or moral manipulation. Playing the victim to avoid responsibility. Result: you stay out of fear, not love. Intermittent reinforcement. Kindness followed by cruelty. Apologies without change. Hope dangled, then withdrawn. Result: trauma bonding and confusion. What emotional abuse does to a person: chronic anxiety or hypervigilance, confusion and self-doubt, emotional numbness or shutdown, loss of confidence, difficulty making decisions, shame without clear cause, feeling responsible for others' emotions, spiritual confusion or disconnection, depression. I didn't lose myself overnight. I was slowly trained to disappear, might be what you might say. Why emotional abuse is so hard to leave: trying harder, being patient, being understanding, being loving, being faithful, being the bigger person. Empathy and sincerity often make a person more vulnerable to exploitation. Why intent does not cancel impact: pattern, impact, power. Lack of malice does not equal lack of harm. Father speaks: my child, I never asked you to endure what was destroying you. Love does not require you to disappear. Faith does not require silence in the face of harm. You are not unloving for naming abuse. You are not disobedient for choosing safety. Scripture, the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. An honest answer is like a kiss on the lips. Proverbs 24:26. Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. Ephesians 5:11. Journaling prompts. When did I begin doubting myself in this relationship or another relationship? What patterns repeated even after conversations or apologies? How did I change to keep the peace? What emotions did I learn to silence? What did my body know before my mind accepted it? What truth is God gently helping me name now? Windowsill wisdom. Emotional abuse does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers until you forget your own voice. God does not stand with abuse. He stands with truth, protection, and restoration. And I'm praying for you. If you or anyone that you know is experiencing this type of relationship, please do intervene. Like, speak out. Do something. Say something. Help. A lot of people don't know that this is a form of abuse. Just because it's not physical doesn't mean that it isn't. And these wounds can stay with you for a very long time. And if you have experienced this type of abuse of any kind, or even parts of it, you need to seek a counselor. This is something that you have to navigate and work through. It could possibly cause you PTSD. It could cause you trauma. It could cause you to be depressed, and it could cause you to be physically sick and you not even know why. Could cause chronic stress. It could create a lot of things in you. And this, once again, is acknowledgement. This is education and knowledge, so that what you don't know, you can't do anything about. But if you know it, and this is like a light bulb comes on and you say, oh my gosh, I'm experiencing this stuff, then you know what? It has a name. The name is called emotional abuse. And it's not okay. It's not okay. And you're not in control of other people's emotions. Like, you are not to blame. Like, if you've ever heard, you made me do it, or if you haven't done that, if you hadn't done that, then I wouldn't have done this. That is definitely not ownership of actions. And what you do, you're in charge of. What they do, they're in charge of. And you only work on you. You can't fix anybody else, okay? That's the one thing that if you take anything from this, the hard work that you need to do is to put into you. Heal you. Educate you. Grow you. You are the only one that God can change. And we have to self-reflect. You know, am I this person? Do I do this? Because if you do this, then you also have to change. We have to look in the mirror and say, that's me. Parts of that's me too. Like, I guess I used to do that too. And so it's not just one way. We have to look at the man in the mirror. And it's not shame or condemnation or pointing fingers or you're bad, or, you know, a lot of good people do this and they're not even aware of they're doing it or even why they're doing it. I'm sure they don't want to do it, and they haven't gotten to the root of why they're doing it. And so it's kind of like bullies at school. Like, why do bullies bully? Because they've been bullied. And so a lot of times those doing these things, it was done to them. And so, you know, we just all need to educate and grow and learn.